Hi everyone, it's Tuesday the 13th of March. Sorry for the late upload this week, I've just not been feeling up to it. So in the last week, Edie has had a tracheotomy, a gastrostomy. Her shunt was partially removed due to infection. So she's now on anti-seizure meds, sedation, antibiotics to fight the infection, and all the other basic medications like paracetamol. And we've just been told in the last hour that Edie needs a blood transfusion. Due to haemoglobin levels being quite low, they're now 7.7. Yesterday they were 9 something, and in order for her to fight the infection they want it to be over 10. So it's just another worry on top of everything else. Sometimes I think, is this right, what we're doing here? I mean, nobody's gonna know if it's right or not because it is still a trial. But, why are we putting her through it all? But when I see how much she is fighting, all these things that have come in front of her and she's just knocked them down. Steve and I despair a lot because we just feel like she's not got any better in the last few weeks while she's been in hospital. But then we've got to remind ourselves she's had 3 major surgeries, so every time she starts to feel a bit better, in she goes for another surgery. So we're hoping this one on Sunday, that was the last surgery, and she can start getting on the up. But of course we're always worried that we're going to jinx it by saying anything like that, so we're hoping for the best but always preparing for the worst. And with DIPG, unfortunately, that's how you've got to look at everything now. I want nothing more than to take her home and cuddle up on the sofa with her on my knee, with a blanket over us, watching Beethoven or Baby's Day Out, Annie or Matilda, some of her favourites. I just want nothing more than to just hold her. But as it stands right now, we can't really get too close to her because of all of her tubes. You're scared of pulling anything out, even though she tries herself. We constantly ask her questions because at the moment all she can do is nod and shake her head. But we know she's still got a full sense of humour because when you ask her questions like, do you fight the doctors? And she'll nod her head, and you just know, although she can't physically smile, she's smiling and laughing. The way she nods her head enthusiastically. And today I was singing to her, and I'm debating whether to put the video up because basically she covers her face with a blanket when I'm singing. And I asked her after I stopped the video, don't you like mummy singing? And she shook her head. Or you say when the nurses are in here, and some of them do speak a little bit English, and you say, would you like the nurse to leave? And she'll nod her head and shake her arm at them. Yeah, she's so funny. I just can't wait to get her back. I miss her so much. And I know Neve's missing her. She's not allowed on ICU, so she hasn't even been able to come in and see her. She says things like, I miss Edie's sweet little voice. Or when we're all having a cuddle, she says there's only Edie and Daddy missing now because of course mainly Daddy has been at the hospital with Edie. I break my heart not only for me and Steve as her mummy and Daddy, but for her. She's so full of life. And for Neve, because you see how lost she is without a best friend. Edie, although she's the youngest, she's always been the more confident one of the two. She'll always go first. So I see Neve even more reserved without her security there with Edie, her partner in crime. Neve, I hope that Edie comes home soon so she can start enjoying herself here again like she was. The doctors say that there's always improvements with her each day, but it's so hard to see. They're looking at a lot of data, blood tests, scans, and we look at how she looks physically and how she responds, and it is worrying. We've just got to put a lot of faith in them, and we really do. We trust everything that they're doing. They all work so hard to get her better, and they all love her, but it's really hard not to. And back home on the Wirral, our local fundraising champion, John Hammond, is going to be doing his 4 marathons in 4 different cities in 4 days. So starting Thursday in Belfast, then to Southampton on Friday, then to Essex on Saturday, and finishing off in East Lothian in Scotland on Sunday. And the main reason behind this is that there's 6 children with DIPG in the UK that travel to Mexico for treatment. And those 6 children, so Edie and Lucy, are both from the Wirral. So we decided to miss our hometown off because we know that our hometown are amazing at supporting John, and they always do. So Luke's from Scotland, Cameron's from Belfast, Zoe's from Southampton, and Callie's from Essex. And we're all funding it ourselves. I mean, our local communities are doing amazing, all getting involved in the fundraising. But why should we have to do that? Is it not enough that we're watching our children fight for their lives? Should we not be putting all our efforts into that rather than having to try and do our own research? Because basically, to the doctors back home, our children are write-offs. There's nothing they can do, and there's not really much that they can try. The government don't help with funding to get our children to Mexico to get this treatment. And so we have to try and fundraise as well. Although we have so many people back home doing a lot for us, we still have to get more involved than we should when we're going through this with our children and families. So people like John, your true heroes, and Richie Helen, he's a local postman. He'll be doing a massive walk next week from Tranmere Rovers to Dover. All these can be sponsored on Just Giving. If you visit the Spider-Ede Appeal Facebook page, it's all on there. You can see information and tags from the other children's pages. And lastly, it is my birthday on Thursday this week, and it is a big one. I'm 30. It's not a celebration, it's not a happy moment for me, not that being 30 ever is, but if I can ask for one wish, one birthday gift, if you go out today, just tell someone about DIPG. It doesn't even have to be about Edie, but just tell them. Let's just end on a good note. As you all know, the Bradley Lowry Foundation support us. They've just sent over this morning to the hospital £10,000 to go towards this treatment. And that for us just means that the money that we've raised, the funds that have been donated, they continue to solely go on Edie's chemotherapy treatments, the intra-arterial therapy and the immunotherapy. So Gemma and everyone at the Bradley Lowry Foundation, thank you so much for that. It's took a huge pressure off Steve and I, a little relief in this time of despair. I missed you. Did you miss me? Yeah, I love you so much. I missed you so much.